South of the border we go for a championship series reduced to a best-of-5. The Portland Winterhawks, without their leading scorer, found the offensive touch in Game 2 to even the series. Now they're back home with the buzz of the Rose Garden crowd on their side. With home ice advantage stripped away in Game 2, the Edmonton Oil Kings will try to claim it back tonight. They've never trailed in a series and fully intend to keep it that way. An edge in the WHL championship is up for grabs, and it's next on show. Well, it was a gorgeous day in the Rose City today. Portland, Oregon, back in the Western Hockey League Championship, and in the same situation they were in last year, tied at a game apiece. And there was a hero from Game 2 for the Winterhawks, Brendan Leipzig, with a 2-goal performance. He has 5 points over a 3-game point streak. And for Sven Berchi, 2 goals in Game 2. He has now scored in 3 consecutive games and has 10 during the postseason. Latvia's Christian Pelch coming off a goal in the second game of the series. He has 5 goals and 8 points so far in these 2012 playoffs. And Mitch Moroz had the hit that was heard in Portland on Ty Ratty in Game 1, but coming off a -2 for the Edmonton Oil Kings. So he and the team are ready to go tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the WHL on John. Hello to those of you watching on Root Sports south of the border. I'm Andy Deal. Well, both these teams, the Oil Kings and Winterhawks, got up at the break of dawn yesterday morning to get set for the charter flight here to Portland from Edmonton on the same plane. And now we're ready to go in Portland for games 3 and 4. The next game is on Tuesday night. Now, despite the fact the Winterhawks without their leading scorer, the 57-goal man in the playoffs leading scorer, Ty Ratty, who was knocked out of Game 1, as you know, they still put up a performance of a 5-1 victory, a convincing win over the Oil Kings on Friday night to even this affair and get home ice advantage now in the series, led by Brendan Leipzig with 2 goals, along with Sven Berchi with his 2-goal performance. And Ty Ratty, as you know, missed the end of the third period in Game 1, did not play Game 2. He took part in the morning skate and the pregame skate, and we just found out that he is in tonight. So a big addition for the Winterhawks going into Game 3 this evening against the Edmonton Oil Kings. Now, as for the Oil Kings, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about a 22-game win streak for them. Well, now they've lost 2 of their last 4, going back to the Moose Jaw series. In fact, that loss on Friday night was their first Rexall place since February 22nd. But they haven't lost back-to-back games in a long time. We'll see how Game 3 unfolds here at the Rose Garden. To set the scene even more, let's go to Dan Russell and Bill Wilms with the call tonight. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Andy. Well, the Winterhawks were full value for that Game 2 victory. We wondered how they were going to respond with their big gunner, Ty Ratty, out, but they responded like a team that was in the finals last year, and by that, we mean they were composed and they were mature.
Yeah, and they had Brendan Leipzig. This guy plays no matter who's in or out of the lineup. Portland Winterhawks did a great job of getting the first goal. They had to get it. They got it early, 2:37 in. That was Brendan Leipzig making it 1-0. And boy, did he jump on a turnover there to make it 2-0 in the second period. Sven Berchi, what a shot, what a goal. Make it 3-0, and then this.
Yeah, we never knew if that was going to be a goal or not. At first, we didn't think, and then they ruled it off. But actually, the league said afterwards, we missed a goal. We missed that goal, and right afterwards, Portland made it 4-1 on the Peters goal off the rush.
Yeah, a lot of goals off the rush. Edmonton gets back 4-1. Christian Pelch takes a shot off the post that Gurnett took, and Berchi with an empty netter was 5-1.
Now, as for Matt Carruth, he was outstanding in game number 2, facing 39 shots, Bill. He actually has a better save percentage in this final.
Yeah, you know, Matt Carruth has been there. He's done that. He's been a competitor. He always will be a competitor. And the other night, that 38 save performance on 39 shots, that's a .974 save percentage on the game. Terrific. And he's always ready, Dan, because he knows the Winterhawks play such a high-octane offense that he's never sure what's going to happen to the other end. And he's a battler. He wants you to know that physically he's going to battle for every puck. His battle level's very, very high.
Now, when the Edmonton Oil Kings were just rolling and rolling, nobody really kind of noticed that Michael St. Croix and Tyler Maxwell have been a little quiet for their top gunners.
Well, they do. And Michael St. Croix had 108 points on the season. But you know, the first 2 games he played against the Kootenay Ice, He scored in both of them, and everybody thought, you know what, that's good. They need Michael St. Croix to play, and they need Michael St. Croix to score. That's a terrific backhander there. But you know, Tyler Maxwell, so consistent, Dan. 330-plus goal season, but he entered the playoffs having not scored his last 7 games, and he hasn't quite got out of that funk. His teammates are playing in this building probably for the first time, most of them. Maxwell has been in Portland against the Winterhawks 15 times in his career. These two guys really have to pick this team up tonight.
And he's going to be a guy they'll lean on for experience of playing here in the Rose Garden, which is already going crazy, Andy, anticipating the Winterhawks' arrival.
Well, they're sure ready to go here at the Rose Garden. They had almost 11,000 for their Game 4 victory of the Cal Tire Western Conference Championship when they eliminated the Tri-City Americans. And as you can hear, they're ready to go this evening. November 12th was the last time the Oil Kings lost back-to-back games. And they also have a lineup change tonight. Ashton Sotner is out. Ryan Deck draws in on the blue line. Game 3 is next from Portland.
We're back in Portland, Oregon, awaiting the national anthems to be performed here in the Rose Garden for game number 3. As we've mentioned, this is the first time the Edmonton Oil Kings have ever played in this building. For those unfamiliar with Portland, they have the 2 buildings. They have the Memorial Coliseum next door, and they only lost twice all year in this building, the Rose Garden. Now the national anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A beautiful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner as we get ready for game number 3. We know Ty Ratty's in the lineup. His best buddy, Sven Berchi, there with 20 career goals in the playoffs, 87 regular season and playoff goals, plus 3 in the NHL. And Peter Lapardias has Sven Berchi at ice level. Peter.
Sven, how big is it to get your line mate and one of the best players in this league, and Ty Ratty, back in your lineup after he missed game 2?
Well, it's great to have him back. I mean, he's been, he's been our best scorer the whole season so far, and he's doing great in the playoffs. So I'm really happy to have him back.
How do you build on what was a very good effort in game 2?
Well, we did the right things out there, and it's all about decision making right now. we're really similar teams, so it's just little things to decide between winning or losing.
Thanks for this. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And now your starting goalies for game number 3 and through the series. Laurent Brossoit on the road now at 13 wins and 2 losses, a 1.81 goals against average, but his save percentage in the finals so far, .885. There's Matt Carruth, who we just spoke about. He has the most minutes played in the playoffs, 1,022. He's made the most saves, 557. The 2 referees are Trevor Hansen and Pat Smith up from Vancouver, or down here from Vancouver. And Chris Carlson, Kyle Murchison, also from the lower mainland area of British Columbia, working the line. So here we go in a sold-out Rose Garden, game number 3 of the championship series underway. And the Oil Kings send it here to the open wing. Gordon Kettle in over the blue line, rolls it to the corner, and he tries to throw a body check on Pouliot as it squirts free. The Hawks come out of their own zone, led by Taylor Lear. Shot in, Peters going in, but he's all tied up by Reinhardt. Puck squirting free. And the Oil Kings have it. Reinhardt out of his own zone to Wilson, up to Rashinsky. As he hits the Portland blue line, he'll try to go wide. He put the puck wide, then he fell down, and 3 Oil Kings back of that net area trying to come up with it. Cannot. Gabriel instead will come out for Portland. Winterhawks through the center ice area will shoot it in, and Gabriel peels back. Noble's going in against Reinhardt. They collide in the corner. Reinhardt sends it around this near boards, and Christian Pelch waiting for it. Had a spin to avoid a check. Nice move, and then he barely got it over to Reinhardt, but he did. And there's a nice pass right on the stick of Pelch. Pelch in over the line. Nice pass in front as well, but just off the stick of Samuelson. Had to take it a little bit off his backhand, and that negated the scoring opportunity for the Oil Kings. Now for Portland, here is Wotherspoon getting it up to Nobles. Ty-Ratty on the ice for the first time since game 1. He's number 8 in the corner trying to come up with the loose puck. Nobles also, and there's Berchi skating into your picture to collect it. Pass out to the blue line, Wotherspoon in front of the net. Turnaround shot by Nobles is blocked by Lowe, and Pelch tries to stick handle out of his own zone. Followed up by Lazar. Lazar, wrist shot, and a blocker saved by Carruth. The puck comes around the wall. And here's Leipzig with 2 goals in game 2. Lead pass to Reed. Drop pass for Leipzig. What an opportunity to try to go around. Then a shot by Reed goes wide. I thought Leipzig was going to get around the last man back. And that, by the way, is Ryan Deck, number 22. That's him with the puck right now in his first playoff game. He's been thrown into the lineup here and into the fire, so to speak. Somebody's lost their helmet. Is there going to be a penalty? Portland player without a helmet. Looks like there's, well, I'm not sure who's going to get it. We'll just sort it out. Leipzig without his helmet. And did he get a penalty for playing without it?
Well, I can tell you one thing. He was trying desperately to get it back on. Some real good physical play in the offensive zone. Maybe we can see how Leipzig's penalty, or his hat, does come off. That's him with the puck in the corner. Tries to avoid the first check, but you know, you're hard to avoid the second one when you got those big Edmonton defense coming at you. And that is the penalty, as the faceoff does come all the way down into the Portland zone.
Penalty in the Western League. If you lose your helmet, you either get it on right away or you have to go to the bench. You cannot play without it. That was put in a few years back, and that's the penalty here. And Edmonton, this is an early story in this series. They're 0 for 8 so far with the man advantage in the championship series. That's exactly the penalty. As Lazar tests Carruth with a right pad save. Lazar in front of the net, and that was blocked. Another chance just put wide by Gurnett. Reinhardt moving in, shoots, that's blocked. Gurnett gets the puck. Cross ice, it's in skates, and the Winterhawks will throw it up the ice for Ross. Short-handed. Ross already has 4 short-handed goals in these playoffs, but he peels back right now. They're always looking for the short-handed marker. First few seconds of that Oil King power play, they did get some opportunities there. Good save by Carruth and a couple of shot blocks as well. Gurnett has the puck. Long pass to St. Croix. He brings it in over the line. Maxwell heads towards the net. Now he peels back, goes to the corner, tries to get it back to the net. Popped over a stick. Here's Rutkowski with it. Lots of room for Troy Rutkowski, and he's able to shoot the puck down the ice. Rutkowski, by the way, was a +3 in game number 2.
I thought he probably was the best player on the ice overall, for both ends of the ice. If you compare the entire game, he was terrific.
Mark Pesic now. Shot towards the net, goes wide. Samuelson waits for it to come to him. As he works off this half wall, he goes into a place where he could get a shot, but it hit a leg before it could reach the net. Now a shot onto Caruth, and he makes the save with 32 seconds to go in the minor penalty.
Yeah, right off the power play, the Oil Kings really start really well, and for them it's important to have some success on that power play. Lazar's going to get the best chance there. Watch it, another chance coming up on this play right here. This is all in the same sequence, and then Gernat in that sweet spot, number 28. He's been scoring from that spot. 3 chances on that one sequence alone. That's good for the Oil Kings. They got to be confident with that, and they still have how much time left in the power play?
32 seconds.
Way up there in the top left corner, Bill, up in the rafters.
I've only been in here about 10 times. I had to look for it.
I know, I did too. It's not a penalty time clock. It's part of the overhead scoreboard at the Rose Garden, which, by the way, is the best video screen you'll ever see in an arena. Pelch gets the puck back to Lowe. Lowe moves in, winds up, holding it, still holding it. Keegan Lowe has it going to the back of the net. It squirts free. Oh, the net popped up and down again. Portland, the puck didn't go in it. And here's Peters getting it out and down the ice with just 8 seconds remaining. And the penalty to Leipzig, the rare call in these days, playing without a helmet. And I don't think I've ever seen that called in a championship series, but it was the right call. And the PA announcer tells the big crowd here that they're back at full strength. And here comes Leipzig going in. Nice play by Gernat to poke it off the stick. The 2 number 28s in a battle there. There's a shot from a sharp angle by Delio. Delio peeling back to go to the front of the net as it comes back to Rutkowski. Rutkowski gets it over to Wotherspoon. His shot tipped off the target. That didn't miss by much as the Winterhawks come close. Here comes Iwanek going for Edmonton by himself, but on his backhand he gets a shot onto Caruth. And Rutkowski collects the puck. Pass into the skates of Delio, and there's a centering pass for Iwanek. Doesn't materialize. Miraz from back of the net. It's on the side of the net. There's a collision in front of the net. And there's a play stoppage at the side of the net.
We have a special guest host tonight.
Peter Labardi, is down to you.
Jerry Moss.
The return of Western Hockey League playoff points leader Ty Ratty, but it should be noted that Edmonton has made some significant changes, especially to their forward lines. Derek Laxall has really shaken things up. It started in the 3rd period of game number 2, and he's made an addition on defense. Ryan Deck in, Ashton Sautner out, and it means you'll see a lot of Gernat, Reinhardt, Pezic, and Lowe. The other 2 guys, Corbett and Deck, will be spotted.
Thank you, Peter. I know Sautner had the bad giveaway on one of those Leipzig goals the other day, but I was a little surprised that he was taken out of the lineup, Bill, and we'll get a thought from you on that in a second as Ross takes that shot from a sharp angle, and it's still sitting there. Comes back to Hansen. Hansen's shot is blocked by Peddle as it goes now to Reed behind the net. Ross in front of the net. Baker, the 3rd member of the line, he wears 16. Morrow, he's the defenseman pinching there as that puck goes across the goal mouth area, and Peddle's got it now. Peddle reaches the red line, shoots it in. And Caruth plays it around the boards, but it's trapped. And Peddle comes up with it once more. Clark Wilson, now Rhett Rashinsky behind the net as they work the cycle. Rashinsky comes off the backboards, goes right into the crease area. It's still loose there, and it's finally whistled down. How many people can you get in a Volkswagen? They're all in the crease right there.
You know, the key for the Oil Kings on this play, and for any play for that matter, Dan, they've had a power play. They've had a couple chances on that power play. I think Coach Laxall's got to be pleased with the first opportunity his team had on the power play. Then they go to work on the back wall. Now, this is a good job by Rashinsky. Man, oh man, keep your feet moving. Drive that puck into the crease. Rhett Rashinsky gets in kind of into that spot through 3 white-shirted Portland Winterhawks. You'll see them here coming off that back wall. There's Caruth. He's watching what's going on. There's 1 Winterhawk. There's 2. There's 3. And inside position by 3, or certainly pretty good position by 3 Edmonton Oil Kings. Look at the referee. Great position. Every guy in that pack. And that referee's trying desperately at that point to find out where that puck is. Didn't cross the line, and we still tied at 0. But, you know, Dan, I tell you, the first 5 or 10 minutes, I thought, from the Edmonton Oil Kings standpoint, Derek Laxall's team, is really, really going to be important in this hockey game. They've never, I'm sure their team has never, in the careers of the Oil Kings, been in an atmosphere like this. Not too sure about Tyler Maxwell. We've talked about him being in Portland 15 times, but they have to play through this. This is tremendous experience for Derek Laxdal's team. And I think the first 6 minutes, they've handled it beautifully.
There's a large crowd here in Portland as this game was not only sold out, we're told there were scalpers outside. Last time you and I saw scalpers was during the lockout year, and Shaw had our cameras during Vancouver and Kelowna in Game 6, a deciding game at the Pacific Coliseum. Over 16,000 there that night. There were scalpers outside the door on that particular evening.
Dan, I don't know if this is a review of the last play around the Portland net or not.
Well, after what happened in Game 2, I would totally understand if the video goal judge wanted to have a longer look at what happened there. We didn't see a puck in the net, but what can you see on the overhead?
A lot of bodies. There's the puck. I think Caruth's pretty sure he's got it. You know what? It certainly moves towards the goal line, but about almost the center of your screen there, right by the referee's helmet, is where I believe Caruth's hand is, and I think it's on top of the puck, and it's about a foot away from the goal line.
And if that made you want to go to a rugby game, I wouldn't blame you. That looked like a scrum.
Now, what do you got? What's the guy called that's in that position? A hooker. He kind of gets
crazy is what he's called.
Crazy. You're right. Without helmets, I might add.
The goalie got a penalty, and so did Clark Wilson on that exchange. So we're 4-on-4 as Morrow brings it in over the line. Berchi heads to the net. Morrow goes to the corner now. Berchi from behind the net can't reach it, and there is Granat with it. Morrow, the defenseman, chasing him, and here comes Foster out of his own zone. In on Pouliot. Foster stood up, but he got the puck for a moment, and then Morrow on the back check has it for Portland. Flips it to Ratty to Berchi, and here they come. Berchi through the center ice area. Nice pass. Pouliot tries to hook it in front. Reinhart with a good defensive play, as he makes so many of those subtle little defensive plays and just kind of hit him. And it's Berchi now trying to work on a little bit of room. He does just that. Pouliot in the slot, can't get it. Berchi trying to force it past Reinhart. Berchi behind the net to Ratty. Front for Reinhart, and Pelch got a stick on that, or front for Berchi. And now here comes Reinhart after Pelch broke it up. Reinhart's going to shoot it in and head back on a line change. 48 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. No score, 7 minutes gone, first period, Game 3. Series tied 1-1. Edmonton won the opener 3-2. Portland the second game 5-1 with an empty netter. Here comes Lazar. Lazar going in on Rutkowski. Rutkowski takes the puck from him, but Samuelson follows up. Samuelson to Keegan Lowe. Lowe back for Samuelson. Off his stick, but he almost got it back. He is going to get it back, but again, it poked off his stick, and here's Lowe. Lowe will stick handle and try to go all the way if he could, but it's poked off his stick. Now it's shot to the far corner. Here's Pesek working off the boards. His shot is blocked. Wotherspoon trying to get it. And he does.
Can I say bless you to Dan Russell on the air? I guess I just did.
There's a backhand by Gabriel that went wide or off the goaltender and then into the corner. Gabriel tries to chase it down. Rashinsky's going to do it for Edmonton. He brings it in over the line. Stood up, and the puck goes to Portland's Reed. Up for Oliver Gabriel. Gabriel brings it in over the line. Ross going towards the net as that shot is stopped by Brossois, and he holds on for a play stopping.
If you're going to get a split in Edmonton from the Portland Winterhawks standpoint, certainly best to win game number 2, because you can take that momentum back into Portland, where this team is 7-1 at home. The one loss, Dan, the one that Mike Johnson and the Winterhawks love to forget about, is that 7-2 loss against Kamloops. However, in 5 of the 8 home games, they've given up, get this, 1 goal or less. And that includes 2 home ice shutouts. The concern for Mike Johnson's team, Dan, in all of the games played at home in the first period in the playoffs, they've only got 1 first period goal. And this crowd in here just dying to get up on their feet and cheer a first period goal.
Nobles and Iwanek on the face-off, won cleanly by the Edmonton player. Back to the young Ryan Deck, who gets the puck nicely out to Mraz, who rolls it into the Portland zone. There's Nobles on the backboards. Hansen as well, number 4. He just scoops it over to the far corner. Berchi deep in his own zone. Being watched by Mraz as he banks it off the boards to Hansen. Oh, it went off the Portland leg of Berchi, and Hansen will try once more. Being bothered there nicely by Maxwell, who throws it in the crease, and Caruth covers it up.
Yeah, a real good thing for Josh Hansen, the 17-year-old, played pretty solid for this hockey club from Eagle River, Alaska. Played in all 72 games this season, and that's great for a prospect that's going to be in his draft year, that is in his draft year, especially on a Portland defense that's so exceptionally strong. Obviously, he's benefiting a lot from a lot of scouts coming out to see Derek Pouliot.
Yeah, we've seen that spillover effect before, haven't we? Various players around the WHL's. Caruth makes a save on a long shot by Gurnett. Well, so far so good, as you mentioned, for Edmonton, Bill. They played 8:44 here in the first, and they're not intimidated by this big crowd. It doesn't appear.
No, I agree with you completely, and that can all change in a heartbeat. You give Portland one real good scoring opportunity, take it off and finish it off, but this is a pretty good forecheck. That's great puck support there, and that's good puck possession.
And that's Legault behind the net. St. Croix trying to dig it free. He's number 18 for Edmonton. It does squirt free for a moment, but it goes to Portland. As you can see, they're going to be able to bring it out of their own zone. Leipzig up for Ross, who tips it into the Edmonton zone. Comes off the backboard for Reed. There's Leipzig! And Brossoit made the save. Look behind him, but he had it. A big save by Brossoit off Leipzig to keep it scoreless.
You can see as you see Cam Reed on this shot we're going to show you, he's looking over his shoulder there. He knows exactly where he's going with it. He looked twice. He looked once before that. And Brendan Leipzig has got that real good ability to find these kind of spots. Reed knew about 40 feet before he got that puck that he was going to get it to Leipzig. And Brossoit just over there to make a last-second save.
2 goals for Leipzig in the most recent game. So you know he's confident around the net. Here comes Samuelsson out of his own zone. Only 1 point in the last 5 for Samuelsson. He's got a little bit quiet as well from the Edmonton Oil Kings standpoint. He was very prominent in the early part of that Moose Jaws series. Pesek back of the net, can come up with the puck. Baker's got it. Lear is bounced off the puck by Samuelsson. And then there's going to be a penalty as the Portland player came back. And Samuelsson got to stick up. I guess Lear came back at Samuelsson as the puck was going up the ice, and Samuelsson got to stick up, and he high-sticked the Portland player, which was Joey Baker.
Now you're talking about Samuelsson getting involved in the play. Well, you know sooner said he's been quiet than he does get involved, not necessarily from a scoring standpoint, but watch number 10, Red. That's him. That's his man. He's a centerman, checking well. Knocks down Lear, picks up the puck, makes the outlet pass there, and then has a Portland Winterhawk run at him. And there's been several Portland Winterhawks that have taken a pretty good shot at Samuelsson, and he gets to stick up to protect himself. The penalty goes to Samuelsson.
Portland in the series is 2 for 7. As you can see, there's blood, and the fans are booing because they're saying, why is that only a 2-minute penalty?
It's a 4-minute.
Oh, that's why. We can't. There's a pillar blocking the 4. It's a double minor for high sticking. All right, so we can finally spot that. Still then, I don't know why the fans were booing. They got the 4-minute penalty.
Saw the replay on the big screen and said, wow, that's dirty stuff, man.
Well, we know Samuelsson plays with an edge. An early double minor on Edmonton. On home ice, Portland in the 3 rounds. 6 power play goals on 38 opportunities. Here comes Morrow. His shot blocked by Peddle, who gets room and shoots it down the ice for Edmonton. So there's 45 seconds gone in the penalty. Pouliot back to collect the puck. Pouliot, 7 power play assists in the playoffs as he weaves his way through that neutral zone. Pelch is hustling in that corner to try to get it. Portland gets a stick in there, and a couple bodies fall. Noble's in there, Reed in there, Gabriel in there, and the puck stays in there. Here's Nobles teeing it up, and his shot is blocked. Took too long to get it into that sweet spot, like Bill teeing up one of his 9-irons. It took a long time.
My title is Pro V1.
9 minutes to go, first period. The shots are 6-4 for Portland. Nothing yet on this power play. Double minor. Reinhardt stands tall at the blue line and sends the puck down the ice for Edmonton. Rutkowski avoids Legault, and out he comes. Gabriel squeezed off the puck by Reinhardt. They can't get it out. Long shot by Rutkowski, sails wide of the goal. Nobles now to Leipzig. Leipzig pass in front. Reed rather, holding it. Couldn't get the shot. Gabriel shot it high and wide. Nobles. Rutkowski shot. Big rebound. Gabriel can't get his stick on it, and the Oil Kings clear it down the ice.
Boy, that's the Winterhawks at their best on the power play. Great puck movement, kept the puck alive. Rutkowski, again, kind of the quarterback on all of that, but boy, that made Brossoit be very, very sharp, and they're on a side-to-side move.
Here comes Ross in over the blue line. They're into the second of the double minor, and Rashynski looks like he can skate out with it. And that puck flips out of play at the Edmonton bench.
Yeah, Portland pressure, no question about that. That's what you want on a power play. And again, it's good dispersion in terms of bodies, stretching the ice east to west. That's always a terrific play. What a nice block by Iwanek, and that's why he's out there killing penalties. And you know, the Winterhawks just keep moving that puck, and the whole idea behind a power play is pretty simple, isn't it? You know, don't let the guy with the puck find the guy he wants to pass it to. The Portland Winterhawks were able to do that on that sequence.
Here's Derek Pouliot leading the Winterhawks to the blue line. Hard pass over this side. Looks like Edmonton's Lowe can get it, and away he goes with Rashynski. Lowe following up. Here's a chance down low. A centering pass for Lowe, and Carruth makes the save, and Lowe bowls right into Carruth. Net comes off its support as the Oil Kings go hard to the net once more. You can see Carruth in there. Now he skates away. He's not very happy the way Lowe came hard into the net, and less happy about it is Morrow, who's throwing punches now with Lowe. Well, and there's another fight breaking out on the left. Ross is going to fight. There's two fights at the same time. Ross is throwing punches with Peddle and Lowe and Morrow. Which one do you watch? Fortunately, we can see both of them. Morrow really didn't like the way Lowe went hard into the goal. Referees seem to allow that to happen with no goalie interference penalty being initially indicated. And there is Morrow, Joe Morrow from Sherwood Park with long hair and a pretty good playoff beard.
You know what started this, folks? Watch this. Coming out of their own zone, it's Keegan Lowe. You know, he's got the green light on this play. He wants to go with it. And Keegan Lowe makes no mistake. They get the loose puck. Watch number 4. Away he goes. He gets a little bit of a screen job by Rashynski there. Keeps the puck alive. Here it comes right back to him. Takes it to the net. And in his battle to do two things. To lose Sven Barchi on the back check and to control the forehand backhand play. Here it comes. Forehand backhand can't. He's got Barchi behind him. In comes Pouliot. In comes everybody else. Goaltender Matt Carruth not that pleased with the happenings, and then a lot of grabbing, a lot of shoving, then lend itself into a couple scraps and a couple good ones.
Well, you see after, I mean, we've seen some rugby, we see a little football there, and then you see Morrow, number 7 on the right. He's going after Lowe. See, right there, he's going to grab him. Can we keep this going at all? Because somehow out of this, see that little face rub, and then the big punch there. And then sooner or later, Morrow will come around the linesman, and then they start scrapping as you look at Derek Laxdal.
Well, it's all part of the test that you got to go through. You know, Derek Laxdal says his late father, John, taught him so much about not getting rattled in life that he says, Laxdal says that he actually feels as he's gotten older, he's gotten more calm. And that's impressive for me because that might be exactly what the Edmonton Oil Kings need from their coach in this series. It's starting to heat up, folks.
Look at Morrow get it low. He actually had to deke out the linesman there. Morrow did. And then at the top of your screen, Ross and Peddle. How do you, well, when a second fight breaks out, now I have to refresh my memory. If a second fight breaks out at the same time, are those game misconducts?
Well, you know what? They are, but I think the key is, did they break out simultaneously on the same play stoppage?
Well, I think Ross has gone to the dressing room. Maybe they'll get 10-minute misconducts. There's Morrow right there. There's Trevor Hansen, one of the referees, and Pat Smith on the left. They're all talking it over. Pat Smith's talking with Wren and Iwanek.
Well,
should we go see what Peter's hearing down there? It's already pretty testy, Peter.
Testy, I think they're just about to take our television timeout, guys. I would say this, series on.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, we're still on a power play, but maybe not. Maybe we're negated there, so I'll wait for the cue if we're going to step aside or not.
Well, I think they're counting down the time break right now.
All right, we will go to break. We're getting the word. It's scoreless in the first. And this is Game 3 from Portland, Oregon on Shaw.
Well, Kings head coach Derek Laxdal. Coach, I don't think there's any question you brought your team to a different level after Game 2. Are you happy with how they've responded here in this vocal and volatile crowd?
Well, you know, we're in the third game. Team is starting to liven up a little bit, but I like the way our guys are playing. It's been an energetic game so far. We've got to continue.
Still some time left on this penalty kill unless it's been evened up. How have you liked the commitment on that part of your game?
Well, you know what? Guys are playing hard here. They're playing with some energy. And again, we've got to continue the process. Thank you.
Peter, I believe it has been evened up as the extra minor on the score clock has gone to Morrow, and you can understand why, but Pat Smith is explaining that now to Derek Laxdal. That's pretty cool. Peter gets to interview Laxdal before Pat Smith gets to come over and have a word.
Well, he knows his priorities.
Yeah.
So does Coach Laxdal.
And that ragged the puck enough for Peter to get back in what we call the suicide box between the two benches. Let's see if we pick up the announcement here.
First period for Edmonton, number 4, Keegan Lowe, 5-minute major for fighting. Also for Edmonton, number 17, Jordan Peddle, 5-minute major for fighting and a game misconduct.
There you go, the game misconduct. Ross will be gone too.
Portland, number 7, Joseph Morrow, 2 minutes for roughing and a 5-minute major for fighting. And for Portland, number 18, Brad Ross, a 5-minute major for fighting and a game misconduct.
Yeah, that's what we thought, Bill. Wasn't quite simultaneous.
Yeah, it was just a little bit behind it, wasn't it?
And that's I think more of a key loss for Portland, but Peddle is very good too. So I don't know if you think that's tit for tat or not, but it's certainly significant. And there was Portland in Game 2 having to play without Ratty, and now in Game 3, for all intents and purposes, without having to play, without getting the services of Ross.
Well, I know his fan that comes down to the box all the time when he takes a penalty with that Toronto uniform on.
Yeah.
She's not going to be very happy with Ross out of the.
In fact, she's already left, Bill.
Yeah, she's gone.
She went before he did. That's it. He can't play, I don't watch.
I'm gone. Pick up a hot dog on the way out, and away you go.
Right now, it's an Edmonton power play with the overlap, the 4-on-4, and now the power play. And here's a chance for Corbett, and he fires it wide of the net. Wren has the puck. You can see there, at half a minute remaining on the power play as Corbett gets the puck back at that point. Shot goes off the stick high, hits the glass, bounces to Gabriel. Reinhart reaches, but then two Winterhawks get crossed up. They look like they were going to have a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Instead, Reinhart winds up and shoots it on to Caruth, who makes the glove save. And they're not booing, they're Caruthing.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, the Winterhawks love to get going on the shorthanded situation. They want to get a shorthanded goal, but you know what a great job Derek Laxdal's team has done in shutting guys down. I don't mean to insult your intelligence to read, folks, but Max Reinhart, top scorer in Kootenay, Mark Stone, everybody knows what he's done. In fact, went from the Western Hockey League up to Ottawa. Quentin Howden, World Junior player. Derek Laxdal's team has done a great job. Now, Dan, the key will, can they shut down Fairchief? Can they shut down Ratty? This is another assignment here in the Western Hockey League final.
Quick shot on the face-off there by Edmonton as the penalty is about to expire and the teams will be at full strength.
The Winterhawks are back at full strength.
Apparently, I do not need to tell you that for the next 2 games. That's handled internally. Here's a chance and a shot that's knocked down. Wotherspoon has it. Puck goes around to Maxwell. Maxwell gets it to Mraz in front of the net. It's loose there, but then swatted away by Leipzig, and he heads out with Lear. Leipzig's heading to the net. There's the pass. There's another chance in front of the net for Lear. The pass was broken down by Pesic, but it went right to Lear. He just couldn't pull the trigger. Here comes Mraz. He sidesteps the check. Sharp angle shot. Chance in the slot. Mraz goes to the net. Another chance save, and a rebound is stopped off Wilson. We're going to get a kneeing penalty on the play. All kinds of action here, and I'm trying to see who's getting the kneeing penalty. They're shaking their heads in the red, so it looks like Edmonton will be shorthanded.
Well, you want action off the rush, you got it. You know the team in white, the Winterhawks love it. This is Lear taking that puck, trying to get it the play is actually broken up, and boy, the Edmonton Oilers go the other way. Great outlet pass going up the ice by Mark Pesic, and then taking it hard to the net. What a great job of going at Mitchell Mraz, who continuously impresses scouts and everybody else around in the last effort on that same rush by Clark Wilson.
So it's a third power play for Portland, and they win the face-off. Pouliot's got the puck. Mraz gets a 2-minute minor for kneeing. Well, now they're calling it a trip, but I think they have that wrong on the PA because the referee clearly pointed to his knee. Here's Ratty going in. His shot is stopped by Brossoit, who went out the other way as Berchi collects it on the far wing. Lost it. Granat gets it to Rashinsky, and Rashinsky gets it down the ice. 4.5 to go in the first. Each team has 8 shots on goal as Pouliot starts back for the Portland Winterhawks. Sven Berchi now to Ty Ratty going wide. Ratty right in on goal, and Brossoit makes the save. Ratty goes for the deke, and Brossoit sticks out the pad. Wow. Hard pass over on the far side for Ratty over top his stick. That was pretty, but that was a great save by Brossoit. Pesic tied up in the corner. Nobles, Pesic, Pelch, Berchi, Ratty gets it back to Pouliot. Pouliot over here to Rutkowski in front of the net, and Berchi is stopped on the doorstep by Brossoit. The rebound was not there for Berchi as Foster starts back shorthanded, and we know he can fly. High shot after it was deflected, but Foster comes up with the rebound himself, killing more time. Fine job by TJ Foster with a half-minute remaining on the power play. Pouliot, a little bit of trouble with it, and now out he comes. 26 seconds now left on the man advantage. Here's Leipzig going wide, trying to squeeze his way through, could not. Rashinsky to the line, not out. Gabriel, good job to hold it in for the Winterhawks. Still Gabriel with it. Rashinsky pestering him, and to the point where he got it, but he couldn't clear it out. Reed to Wotherspoon, winds up, shot wide of the net. Wren pinching in deep, dumps it to the corner. Leipzig trying to get it in front, he could not. Penalty over. Oil Kings back at full strength, and icing will be the call on Edmonton.
Well, you know, they say the goaltender's got to be your best penalty killer. I'll tell you, sometimes he has to be the guy who around the penalty kill revolves. Watch Ratty blow around Corbett here, and Brossoit with this save is big time save. That is like big league save, folks. He's not done yet. Now watch the deflection in front of the net on Berchi, and again Brossoit so solid in holding his position in front of the net. 2 key saves this first period to keep it scoreless.
No goals, a combined 18 shots, and a combined 52 penalty minutes so far in this first period. As Pelch goes in, and here he cuts to the middle all by himself. Winterhawks Wotherspoon now with it. Over here to Hansen. Almost mishandled it, but he got it just inside the line. Pesic gets it out. Hansen once more. Wotherspoon passed down the ice. That missed, so it's going to be icing on Portland.
You know, when you draft goalies, you never know for sure exactly what you're going to get. Calgary drafted Laurent Brossoit in the 6th round in 2011. Let me go back to 1995. The NHL took 4 goalies in round 1. But in round 5, San Jose took an obscure Finnish goalie by the name of Mika Kriprasov. You just never know. You know what Kriprasov has done in his NHL career. Calgary hoping that Brossoit can maybe be that kind of a goalie someday. Great playoff from so far.
Here's Ryan Deck. Up to Legault. Legault's pass over top the stick of Foster, then fell over the red line. Backhanded in. And shot back out by Portland under 2 minutes to go in this opening period. Captain of the Winterhawks, William Wren, plays it to Pouliot. Pouliot up to Peters. Quick pass. Here's Leipzig right in. And Brossoit makes a great save. Leipzig just darted through that hole and went right to the net. And Brossoit equal to the challenge to keep the game scoreless. What a great opportunity. The best of the first period. And it's the 11th shot on goal for the Winterhawks. Leipzig tries to hit Foster, just knocked him a little off stride. It's a battle for the puck. Ryan Deck's got it now. And he lugs it up. Pretty good first period for Deck, who's come in to this series for the first time. Ryan Deck, an 18-year-old from Winnipeg. With the scratch of Ashton Sontner, he drew in. Ratty gets the puck. It's going to go down the ice. This is going to be it. Oh, waved off. Arm was up, and then the arm came down, so they wave off the icing, and it might pay off for Portland, but Nobles is dumped. No call. Portland still with the puck. Puck goes down below for Nobles. Ratty there as well. Back to the line. Wotherspoon. Now Rutkowski. He's checked off the puck. Here's Pelch, and he can fly. Christian Pelch right in. It's stopped by Caruth. Not quite a breakaway in the Leipzig category, but a great chance as well for Edmonton.
This play by the Portland Winterhawks will show it to you first. This is all practice. They know exactly what they're doing here. As they come up the ice, Pouliot, watch the four red-shirted Oil Kings. Leipzig squeezes in right between them. He goes right between four Portland Edmonton Oil King players to make that pass or get that pass. And how about Pelch? Nothing fancy about that. That's not practice. That's just hard work, driving to the outside, getting that scoring chance going the other way.
Leipzig with 6 goals in these playoffs. Pelch with 5 goals in these playoffs. Both of them stopped by the opposing goaltenders to keep this game 0-0. Last minute of the first period. Off the boards it goes. Gabriel trying to collect it. He couldn't. Maxwell in transition for Edmonton. Shot wide of the net by about 2.5 feet. Pesic flex it at the line. Down low to Iwanek. Sharp angle off the mask of Caruth. That hit him right in the face. And he barely flinched as the horn's going to sound to end this first period. Oh, what a first period this was. Very interesting, very compelling. Series tied 1-1, Bill. This is the period you'd expect with so much on the line.
No kidding. The Portland Winterhawks, obviously, they come as advertised. That quick break, that quick offense, that generation of, they generate so much speed so quickly out of nowhere. But that Edmonton Oil King team has handled it wonderfully. And here's the key for me, Dan. They've played enough offense, as the shots on goal indicate, and got enough of their own chances to keep the Winterhawks a little bit back on their heels. That's why this first period is scoreless.
Another home game for Portland where they do not score in the first period, as you see the Oil Kings going off the ice. And as we get ready for the break, I want to remind you we've got lots coming up in our intermission. Stay with us on Shaw. As we welcome you back to one of the homes of the Portland Winterhawks, as Mr. Piper told Andy Neal, they also play next door, and we'll play more next door, but that's the Rose Garden, the big Winterhawk logo at center ice. You know, coming in here, we wondered how Edmonton would weather that storm. They don't know we weathered it. I thought they made a statement in that first period.
That's exactly right. They had a show early in that first period that they were not going to be hemmed in. They were not going to have turnovers. They were not going to make mistakes in their own zone. Watch this. This is simply making sure you read the pressure, get it to the weak side, make sure that you come out of your zone. One pass, 2 passes, you're always out. They did a good job breaking out of their own zone. Portland was not able to have them in. Again, Pesic. This is all early in the first period. Not only did they get the puck out of their own zone, Dan, they got that puck deep. You hear coaches say, get pucks deep. And this is a statement, we're in it to win it, folks. This is Keegan Lowe taking the puck to the net. How about Laurent Brossoit? He's got to be really good that period as well, and he is that. Watch how Camry, 1 look, 2 looks. He's going to make a 3rd look. That's heads-up hockey, folks. Gets it to Leipzig. Brossoit makes the save. And then how about Ratty cutting around the defenseman, taking that puck to the net. Terrific save by the goalkeeper. And this redirect by Berchi in front. Another huge save. Now again, going to show you heads up. Here we go. Look at the guy at the center of your screen. That's Leipzig. Look at him. He's going to look to his right. He knows that pass is going to Peters. Peters just redirects it to him. He gets between those 4 Edmonton Oil Kings and comes in on that chance, and Brossoit makes a save. Man, that's heads-up hockey. What a pass. They just move that puck so well, Dan, because they see the ice so well. That's a perfect example of it.
Laurent Brossoit, he stopped all 12 shots he faced in the first period, and up the ice, Matt Caruth made 9 Oil King saves. So there is the summary as it is, and the other thing that doesn't show there is all the penalty minutes, 52 minutes in the first period. That included ejections out of the game as you look at Matt Caruth. Brad Ross out of the game for Portland, 19-year-old with lots of experience, and Jordan Peddle, 20-year-old, lots of experience. 2 experienced guys out of the game with the game misconducts on the fight that broke out after the initial one. So as we start this period, teams at full strength with the fresh ice surface and the Oil Kings in the dark uniforms. Reinhart gets it up to Legault. Now here's Wren. His pass intercepted by Legault. Back checking is Lear. He knocks him off the puck. Reinhart sends it up to Foster, who tips it in, delayed offside. And now Wotherspoon's hard pass through the neutral zone goes on to Gabriel's stick. Reinhart so good on the one-on-ones, forces him back. And now St. Croix trying for some position on Gabriel. Got it back to Granat around the far boards, but it's intercepted at the right point by Rutkowski. Down low to Leipzig, and here is Pouliot's shot that goes off the target, comes into the goal crease area, but then taken out of harm's way by the Oil Kings. Nice pass onto the stick of Lacroix. Lacroix has Reinhart jumping in the rush. Reinhart having to glove it as the pass hit his stick and went behind Griffin Reinhart. Foster coming up with the puck. He's skating very well in this game for Edmonton. TJ Foster, number 16, heading to the front of the net. Now he's got the puck back to the net. Intercepted by Reed, and here's Gabriel as he brings it in on Lowe. Lowe stands him up, and that allows Mark Pesic to collect the puck, and he sends Samuelson back the other way. Lazar heading to the net. Pesic jumps into the rush. There's the pass for Lazar, and it's save made by Caruth. It's either a pass or a shot. Either way, it was a dangerous play for the Oil Kings as they nearly opened the scoring there. Lowe for Samuelson. Long pass over on the far side. And here's Pouliot with it. Well, of course, as the game goes longer as scoreless, that first goal now looking pretty important, whoever gets it. Even though we're early in the second, here's Nobles, and his shot just went wide of the net. Nobles had Brossoit going one way and the puck the other. He just missed. Ryan Deck, nice pass right on the tape. Here's Pelch going in. Drop pass. Lazar can't get the shot away. Then Berchi with a back check, and he leads a 3-on-2. Berchi going in. Pass in front over top of Noble's stick. And Ratty takes a shot that's right on Brossoit, and he holds on to stop the play.
You know, Mark Pesic doesn't join the rush that very often, but when he does, he comes out of his own zone, leads that rush, and gets to that spot there, and then all he's got to do is throw it to the front of the net, hoping for a redirect. Little mishandle of the puck, and boy, you don't want to mishandle it against the Portland Winterhawks. Look how close Nobles came to getting that puck in that far side, but I got to believe Brossoit pad was there.
Face-off won by Portland. Pouliot gets the puck down to Lear. Behind the net, Peters waiting for it there. Reinhart tying him up, but Lear comes up with the puck. It rolls away from him briefly, but he got it back. Gets it to Delio. There's Peters in the corner. He had a big goal in game number 2. First goal of the playoffs. Delio coming off the boards for Lear. Good work by this line for Portland as they get a little bit of zone time. Morrow reaching to hold the puck in, and he's going to try to skate towards the net. Got a shot that's deflected to the corner. Now Granat might try this way. Miraz waiting for it, but Pouliot's waiting for him, and that turned over the puck, and a shot is handled by goaltender Brossoit, and he takes no chances.
Well, Danny boy, we talked about this earlier off the top. These two guys have to be a factor for this Edmonton Oil King team, folks. 45 goals for St. Croix, 37. You see what they've done in the playoffs, and more importantly, they've been even more quiet in this first 2 games against the Portland Winterhawks. The 2 of them combined, -3. You add Christian Pelch in there, a -4. That's not going to do it.
St. Croix 1 point in the last 4 games. Maxwell scoreless in the final so far as Gabriel's shot is blocked away by Brossoit. Gabriel working on Pesic. Pesic throws or has the puck go in front of his net. Pouliot's pass for Gabriel misses him. And now that goes to the neutral zone. Shot right back in again. Brossoit missed it. And it'll be a race for it. Leipzig can't get a stick on it. Lowe did, got it to Wilson, gets it back to Lowe, and out they come. Pesic following up, he has a pass to the net, and his shot is deflected. Caruth turns that to a corner. Rutkowski and Rashinsky battle for it. Comes back out here to Mark Pesic. Captain of the Oil Kings coughs up the puck, but Leipzig turns it right back over to Clark Wilson. Brossoit leaves it back to the net for Lowe. to his defensive partner, Mark Pesic. Up it goes to Legault, in over the line. St. Croix heading to the net. Legault can't get him the puck. Berchi on the back check can't get it. Comes back out to Rashinsky. Winds up his shot over top the net. Bounces to the side there and into the corner. Looks like Ratty's going to have a chance, but Legault says, no, I'm going to pester you with the puck. And look, St. Croix actually came up with it ever so briefly. Pouliot takes out Legault. Legault just won't go down. He won't give up on that puck. Finally, it's taken off his stick, but even then he tried to dive to maintain possession. Now we got Nobles hurt in the corner, and he's shaken up, and he's not getting up. And here's a turnover. Berchi cutting in on goal. Berchi scores! Wow, in Game 2 you saw a Major League shot. In Game 3 you see an NHL move, and what a finish by Sven Berchi for the game's first goal.
You know, Dad, we were just talking about how well the Edmonton Oilers were playing defensively in their own zone in the last two sequences, but watch Gurnett lose the puck. He stumbles, he falls a little bit at that point. And with Nobles down in the corner, Berchi takes that loose puck that Gurnett in his handles. And what a job he does in getting that puck into the back of the net. Just protects it beautifully.
Wow. Ratty won't get an assist, but his hit forced Gurnett there, didn't it? For the turnover?
Absolutely.
11 goals in the playoffs, 4 goals already in the championship series. He's the leading point getter in the final. 4 points, all of them goals. And Berchi, they're beautiful. That's 5 goals now in the last 4 games as they go offside. What a beautiful goal to open up the scoring.
When Berchi gets into the position that he does, and you know, it's really not always the easiest thing to coach, but he knows when he's in front of the net, he's got one spot to go there. It's got to go upstairs. Look where it goes. It hits the back bar, the white bar in behind the net. That's the only place you're going to beat a goaltender from that close. He's got to get upstairs, and it's got to get upstairs in a hurry. He did it on his backhand. Beautiful.
And as you noted on the first replay, the way he protects the puck off Griffin Reinhardt, who knows a thing or two about defensive play, that was huge on both Berchi and Ratty as well to make that hit that caused the turnover. Patan going in now, and a quick backhand shot. That's Pat saved by Brossois. So it was on the 16th shot of the game for Portland. They scored the first one on Brossois. Here comes Maxwell. Now Patan on the back check. Morrow chasing it in the corner. Reinhardt getting there first. He protects the puck. Got it back at the net for Maxwell. Throws it in front. Intercepted. And here comes Ratty in full flight. Ty Ratty. Poke check nicely by Gurnett, and that throws the play offside.
You know, what makes Ty Ratty so good is really a couple things. Number one, he gets to spots on the ice in that offensive zone that are really, really hard to defend. And then you couple that with those soft hands. He's got terrifically soft hands for smooth shots, for smooth releases. And then, again, we talked about it the night before he got hurt. He's so tough to handle one-on-one because he does draw penalties. He's just a super hockey player.
Combined regular season and playoffs, that is his 88th goal in the WHL. Here's Gurnett moving in for St. Croix. Pass in front, and it just misses Legault. Dangerous opportunity there for Edmonton as they try to counter. Foster. Nice pass through the skates. Gurnett. Long pass that's tipped out of play by Wotherspoon, and I hope that didn't hit anybody. In fact, I think it did clip a fan over there. Might have got on the top of the head, but now he's getting a round of, everybody's getting a round of applause. It actually hit 2 people, including, I think, that young lady there. I think she's okay. I hope she's okay. She's getting a good hug anyway.
He's not going to give up in that spot, believe me. Gurnett cutting to that high slot area. You know, feeds that puck to somebody in the low slot area. That's what you want to do. If you're not going to shoot it, you know, transfer it. That puck's got to go from where Gurnett was with a smooth transfer to another Edmonton Oil King. They're unable to do that. Just, again, pretty good defense by the Portland Winterhawks.
Young lady's okay, and the man 3 rows below also got it in the head. It caromed off his head and then up to her shoulder. It's a tough game out here tonight for everybody. Mark Pesic leading the way for Edmonton. Here's Samuelson now. Pesic heading to the net. Samuelson shot on goal, and the rebound is gobbled up by Caruth before Pesic could get his stick on it.
Well, you know, the Oil Kings obviously know that they have to counter back. They can't let the Winterhawks in this building get up by 2. And, you know, this is Samuelson cutting down that right side. I mean, he's got the ability as a power forward to take pucks to the net, get pucks to the net from that spot. You're never going to beat Caruth an awful lot in that area, but a couple Oil Kings show up to see if there's any loose change hanging around.
This is game number 70 in the 4 rounds of the playoffs. The home team has won 42 of the previous 69 games, and they're leading 1-0 here in game number 3 as that play is offside. 12:48 to go in the second period.
And the last time that the Portland Winterhawks won back-to-back Western Conference titles like they did this year was back in 82-83. When Mike Johnson took over this hockey club, he honestly felt, he took it over in 2009, by the way, he also felt that it might be a title in 5 years. But boy, did they accelerate that. And good for Mike Johnson and his Portland Winterhawks team. And is it loud in this building right now? My God.
They've got the noise decibel rater hit 99. Up there, they have a man holding it with the microphone. I believe it. I might be gullible, but it's pretty loud. Deck's his man. Leipzig goes down. Leipzig looks up, and then Reed takes a shot at Deck as that play is called icing on the Edmonton Oil Kings.
You know, we talked about the great job that the Winterhawks did in getting Cam Reed to come from college hockey. You know, Cam Reed thought the NCAA to Western Hockey League would be an easy transition. He says it's a whole different game between the NCAA and the Western Hockey. He says the styles of the NHL and the WHL are so similar. For him, it was the right path to take. You know, if he was still in the NCAA, he'd been out of hockey 6 weeks ago.
Offensive zone faceoff for Portland as they battle for the possession. It's Pouliot at the point, holding it, waiting for a lane to open up. Got it towards Ratty and then back to Pouliot. Puck squirts free. Berchi trying to get his stick on it. Berchi, Pouliot, Rutkowski. Shot deflects up high, hits the glass behind the Edmonton net. There's a centering pass, goes back out to Rutkowski. Nice block over on their far side there by Legault to try to negate Rutkowski from doing anything. But here's Berchi now. Quick hard passes behind Nobles. Again, well, I thought Pouliot was going to hold that in. Came out, and Berchi quickly, though, is going to bring it right back into the Edmonton zone. Sven Berchi drop pass for Ratty, and it's over top the net. Clark Wilson's pass. Pouliot got a stick on that. Granat following it up. Gets to the red line. Granat hits Clark Wilson's skates. That's negated. So Berchi comes back the other way. Makes one move. Then passes towards Ratty, but it was in the skates. Oh, that was looking promising. Iwanek starts back for Edmonton. Again, stripped at the blue line. And Berchi, who never gets off the ice. Over the line, in on Pesic. Behind the net for Ratty. Ratty trying to avoid the referee at the same time. Knocked off stride. Granat gets the puck and he skates it out. I think now Portland will change some of their forwards as Caruth makes a glove save and holds on.
And people watching at home, did I ever say Sven Berchi's pretty explosive? I mean, this guy just comes out of the starter's box, just needs that little headman pass, and away he goes. He does all the rest, tries to get it to Sven Berchi. He's unable to do so. That's just some really good back checking by the Edmonton Oil Kings.
Face-off one, comes back towards Lowe at the blue line. Goes around the boards. Mraz, body. Mraz comes off the boards and he goes towards the goal crease area. He fell, Pouliot fell. The puck went to the corner and Lowe does a good job to hold it in, and Mraz's shot goes over top the net. Pouliot racing on this side to avoid a check as Mraz is, we know how dangerous he is throwing the body. Just has Ty Ratty from game 1. And they are definitely going to the body in this game as Pouliot gets possession. Portland leading 1-0 on the Berchi goal. We're almost halfway through the second period. Shot in by the Winterhawks. Pesic. Forced back. Nice pass to Lowe. Pass though over top of skate, goes down the ice, and it is called icing on Edmonton. 9:57 to go, second period. In Portland, the Winterhawks lead game 3, 1-0.
Portland head coach and general manager Mike Johnston with us. Coach, a 1-0 lead. Feels like you've kind of turned the tide a little here in the second period. What's allowed you to do so?
Well, it's a tight checking game. I think the game between the blue lines we talked about the other day is so important, how you manage the puck. And then I thought in the offensive zone we've done a little bit better job holding on to it, using our points. But it's a lot of tempo to the game right now.
Are you getting the matchups that you want to get, especially in this second period?
Yeah, we're trying to work a set matchup, and we can get it on home ice for sure, but we also want to keep the pace of the game fairly high. That's our message to our guys right now, just push the pace.
And it feels like the pace, that message has been received. It's a pretty frantic pace right now. 1-0 on the Berchi goal. Unassisted at 4:53 of the second period. Pesic gets a second chance to dump it in. Doesn't get it in deep. Edmonton makes a quick change, but they're caught as Gabriel goes in and he puts a backhand wide. Oil Kings with the long change thought they could get that puck in deep. Made a defensive change after the faceoff, but they didn't get it in deep and it allowed Gabriel to walk in there with the backhand wide. Reed to Wotherspoon. Nice pass up for Gabriel. Did go off his stick. Now we get a penalty behind the play. Is that on Gabriel? I think so. Now Gabriel's trying to mix it up with Lowe. Believe Edmonton's going to get a power play out of this. Or are they?
I don't think anybody knows right now. We don't know who's headed to the box.
Well, it's Reed going to the box for Portland.
And
well, everybody's going now.
Yep. Yeah, yikes.
I think there's going to be I believe the extra penalty might be going. I'm not going to speculate. I can't tell.
Is it a high stick on Pesic? There's the original penalty. There's a penalty. I don't know if that's a penalty. Yeah, there's a high stick right there, both of them.
Except the extra minors on Edmonton, and Portland will have a power play here. A strange one because it looked like Pesic had gone down and that Portland was getting a penalty. Time of this is 10:41. So Portland will have their fourth man advantage, leading already 1-0 as Morrow plays it over there to Pouliot. Pouliot takes a shot, and that is Brossois who makes the save. Pesic gets the high sticking, and Legault gets 2 minutes for roughing, and Reed got the roughing penalty as well. Here's Berchi now making a move. Berchi for Nobles, and it just went wide. Ratty throws it in front, and it missed everybody. Comes out to the neutral zone. Fourth power play for Portland. 0 for 3 tonight. 2 for 10 in the series. Morrow to Berchi. Berchi for Ratty off his stick. Ratty bounces it off the boards. Morrow really has to hustle to hold it in. In front for Nobles, over to Berchi and escape. Drop pass to Pouliot and a great block by Rhett Rashinsky. Berchi lost it to Rashinsky. Who's going to come up with this loose puck back of the net? Winterhawks do, finally, as Pouliot plays across ice. Hard shot by Morrow, whistles wide of the goal. Berchi to Pouliot. Will he feed Morrow again? Yes, he does. Morrow's shot hits a skate, and it goes out to the neutral zone. Pouliot's got it there. 44 seconds to go in the power play. This is a huge kill for Edmonton right now. You can feel it. Morrow centering it for Ratty, scores!
isn't a goal. There was going to be a penalty on the play, so Portland's going to continue on the power play, and they lead 2-0.
You know, Derek Pouliot, the 17-year-old potential first rounder, that's him with a puck. That's just a matter of turning and letting it set up. Berchi wide, Morrow back into Ratty. That is so beautifully set up, and Pouliot just knew that when you had that puck back in that neutral ice area, you just had to be a little patient with it. Let all the guys fill their lanes, let everybody get ready, and then attack that offensive zone. Nobody does it any better inside the offensive zone than the Portland Winterhawks. Folks, we've seen it all year. They make 3 or 4 passes inside the offensive zone. A lot of teams don't do that. Now, granted, it's a power play goal, but it's just automatic, and puck is going to go through 2, 3, maybe 4 players' hands. And once you get it to Ratty in front of the net, it's in the net.
And the fans saluting Ratty back in the lineup, scoring the power play goal, the leading point getter in the WHL playoffs. He's got 31 points now. That's his 18th goal. And as mentioned, they remain on the power play because there was a slashing penalty called on the same play. Gabriel in, scores! Gabriel comes right back and scores another power play goal. It is 3-0 for the Portland Winterhawks.
Well, how about Oliver Gabriel starting this play? How about Oliver Gabriel finishing the play? Power play, patience. This is all about patience. Up the ice, he starts to watch him finish it. Get it wide. Where does he go? Right back between the defensemen. It shouldn't be that simple, folks, but it is when you're that talented.
2 goals, 29 seconds apart on the power play. You could kind of sense before the 2-0 goal how big a kill it was for Edmonton. They couldn't get it killed, and they're trailing 3-0 for the second time in as many games. In fact, they were trailing 4-0 in game number 2. The Winterhawks exploding in the second period, a period now in which they've outscored Edmonton 8-2 in the series.
19th goal of the postseason and set a new Winterhawks record for the most playoff goals by a player.
I hope you can hear that, folks, but a standing ovation here for Ty Ratty. They're announcing the 2-0 goal. It's a franchise record, 18th goal in the playoffs for Ty Ratty.
So that was from Berchi and from Morrow, and then Gabriel from Wotherspoon was the third one. And it's 3 goals on 21 shots now for Portland. Brossois, who was very good in the first period, has allowed 3 in the second here. He has been a wall for Edmonton in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, but the Winterhawks have got to him a little bit in the championship series so far.
Dan, you take a look at all those goals that are scored. When you free a guy 20 feet in front of the net of the Edmonton Oil Kings, you got to be a very, very special and a little bit lucky goaltender. Here they come again.
Leipzig with his great speed passes, and it's fanned on by Gabriel. He almost had his second in a row. What a play by Leipzig. He exploded through the neutral zone, and then he feeds Gabriel at such a high pace that Gabriel couldn't handle it cleanly. But this is fun to watch if you're a Portland fan or just a fan of hockey.
Oliver Gabriel, Dan, played 11 games with Springfield of the American Hockey League. That's the guy that's going to get that pass there. And when he came back to the Portland Winterhawk Hockey Club, he was going to be an upgrade whatever position he played. The timeout called at this point. Tell you, this is the Winterhawks really at their best, at their most dangerous. And as you get a look at Tristan Jarry, wondering if Laurent Brossois is going to need a rest. But I'll tell you something, folks, I don't blame Brossois for any of those goals.
No.
If he had made those saves, it would have been unbelievable goaltending. We know he's been good, but he's not that good that he can stop that kind of an onslaught by the Winterhawks.
He is human, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And there's Brossois now. He's faced 22 shots in this game. There's Bill's family here for the game as well, which is nice to see. Came down from Vancouver.
I kept him in the trunk all the way. Oh, they gotta love it in this building. Boy, I'll tell you. You know, we talk about the Edmonton Oil Kings and the streaks that they've had in winning streaks, but this Portland team, Dan, last 38 games in Portland, 35-3. That's not too shabby themselves.
And only 2 visitors have won in this building. Tri-City did it twice in the regular season, and Kamloops once in the playoffs. Oil Kings uphill all the way now, late stages of the second period. And the last time Edmonton lost 2 games in a row, you got to go back to November. And 2 outright, you got to go back to October. Down 3-0 in this game is Pouliot. Starts back for Portland. Poked off his stick, could be a race the other way. Here comes Wilson. Rashinsky going to the net, but it's out of his reach. And we should say penalties have played a big part in this one. 2 power play goals for Portland. The Berchi goal kind of set the tone, though. That was the even strength one. Got the Winterhawks even going at a higher tempo, it seemed, at least from our vantage point, drawing the penalties and then cashing in. Here's Morrow. That's backhanded in. Granat has it now for the Oil Kings. Checked by Ratty as he tries to come up with the puck. He did. Out to the line. Morrow has it go by one Oil King. Backhands it towards Ratty. And now it's Lazar getting it up. Christian Pelch racing down that wing. Pelch checked by Morrow on the back check. Reinhardt follows it up and throws it at the net. But Caruth made the save. Granat holds it in. Nice job by Granat. Here's Samuelson now. Samuelson. His pass picked off. Sven Berchi. Lead pass for Ratty. Trying to get alone, but he's unable to do so. Samuelson on the back check. Lazar now for Pelch. Off his stick. Ran around the boards to Ratty. The track meet continues. Ratty. Berchi. Back for Ratty in front of the net, and a save by Brossois. Wow. Ryan Deck has the puck. Ratty going to the bench. Nearly 4-0 on that skillful opportunity by Ratty, and Berchi icing is called.
Now, when the Winterhawks get into this kind of flow, it's almost like you should be playing Sweet Georgia Brown. I mean, they just play with rhythm. I would love to know, and I don't know if there's any way to find out. I'm not going to do it. But how many first assists on Ty Ratty's goal Sven Berchi has? Almost got one there.
Well, he has one tonight.
Berchi, or Brossois, really focusing well on that puck.
Ratty's goal, the first assist was to Berchi at 12:06 of this period. That's the middle goal of the 3 that were scored. Rutkowski's got it at the line. Rolling puck shot, deflects! Right on to Brossois' pads, and he made a good save with Lear looking for the rebound. Oh, it's all Portland right now. 24-14 are the shots. That's 13 in this period. Make it 14 on that shot. And Edmonton has only 5 on Matt Caruth.
A lot of scoring on this Portland Winterhawk team. Let's see how much.
Oh.
Now you got 1, 2. Congratulations to Shinneman. Brad Ross, who's out of today's game. How about Marcel Nobles? He thinks he's gone to heaven. Coming from Seattle over here and being such a huge factor for this Portland Winterhawk team.
They gave up a lot to get Nobles, but they had a lot in mind when they got him. Not unlike Kootenay last year picking up Cody Eakin. They gave up a lot to get him, but look how it paid off. Big part of the championship that was won on this ice surface last year by the Kootenay Ice. And we'll never forget that moment as the Ed Chenault Cup was passed to Jeff Chenault and the Kootenay Ice. But that was a year ago, and this is a different Portland team, Bill. We're sensing it here. More experience, more mature, and that experience last year has done them very well, it appears.
Yeah, you know, I said the other night that the lesson I hope they would have learned was that it's not always your offense that wins game. It's the teams that play best defense, as we saw with the Kootenay Ice. But I'm not so sure they're thinking maybe best offense wins, because they've been extremely explosive. You know, they started there probably the second half of period of the game one in Edmonton. The back half of that game, Winterhawks seem to get their legs underneath them and play pretty well.
And then played game two without Ratty and won that game, and then get him back in the lineup tonight. A 3-goal period, and they're threatening for more now as Reed puts the puck behind the net for Gabriel. Gabriel protecting it as he sends it to the blue line, but Rakowski couldn't handle it. Lead offside, the Oil Kings will come out. Iwanek taking the pass here. Iwanek going to the net, but it's about 2 feet wide. Noble's waiting for it, and there it is. Noble's in full flight, in over the blue line. Trying to go around Pesek. Pesek gets his stick out nicely, and then controls the puck. Comes around this near wall, and Mraz has his pass picked off. Nobles tries to find Berchi. Well, they talked about transition. There's transition, and there's Portland Winterhawk transition.
Yeah.
I mean, they just turn it, and they go like that in a blink. As soon as they sense a turnover, they're gone.
And this is the way they finish those turnovers, Dan. Berchi gets a bit of a steal here, and it can come up with that puck. Gurnett loses it, and this is transition from that point. Take it, and take it hard to the net. Put it right upstairs. Good move to the net. How about Ty Ratty on the power play? 3, 4, 5 passes before Ratty touches that puck and makes it 2-0, 12:06. Good touch, and then Gabriel with some more transition on this play here. Give, go, get it back. 3-0.
Indeed, and now as the play goes up the ice, the Winterhawks have their big gunners out once again. You can't take your eyes off the TV when Ratty and Berchi are up there.
No, you don't want to be using a remote trying to see what else is on.
No. But you can't even daydream.
No, you got to focus.
Like here he comes, Berchi to Ratty in front for Nobles, and it's picked off by Keegan Lowe.
I mean, you will hit the rewind button, believe me.
Go to Lowe. Lowe shoots it, and it's partially blocked. Couldn't get to the net. Keegan Lowe again tries to work it in front. Ratty partially hit by Lowe, but he got the puck out. It goes to Wotherspoon. And on his own side of the red line, it's icing.
You know, I think it's important. I've said this before now, but I always felt this as a coach, and I think it's still important at this point from Edmonton's standpoint. You know, your body language. I forget who it was. I think it was one of the coaches in the NHL was always saying, keep your eyes up, keep your eyes up. Don't let the opposition see you with your eyes down, that you're dejected. There's still a psychological game to be played. There's a lot of hockey left in this series. From the Edmonton Oil Kings standpoint, they got to stay positive.
Right, and again, we go back to that investing in the series. What they need, Edmonton, is obviously they're going to want to split out of here, just like Portland got in Edmonton. And in order to set the table, I think they need to have a good finish to this game to try to pick up in game 4.
Yeah, they can't bog down once they get that puck there. That's where they got to be impressive. See how Lazar just gave it away? There was a play earlier where Foster just kind of lost it. Now there's a penalty. The Oil Kings are going to go on the power play, I believe.
Yes, Patan takes down his man Gurnett, and he goes to the box with 54 seconds to go in the periods. And that's one thing Edmonton is going to need either tonight or moving forward, Bill. They are going to have to cash in on the power play. They're 0 for 10 in the series now.
Yeah, I mean, they had the second best power play of all the teams in the playoffs. Still do at this point, but you know what? Power plays obviously win games. Penalty kill keeps games. So
Reinhardt putting the puck wide to the net. Wotherspoon off the wall up to Gabriel. Possible 2-on-1 here, short-handed. Gabriel in over the line on Reinhardt. Gabriel with the puck, trying to get in front. They call it. The PA announcer says it's 2 on the hook at 19:06 or 7, whatever it was. Patan in the box, third power play for the Oil Kings. Lazar drop pass to Reinhardt. Reinhardt. Here's St. Croix now, and just as he shot, back checking Peters. Named the best defensive player on the Winterhawks, and there's an example why. Reinhardt goes back with 5 seconds to go in the period. St. Croix will wind up. That'll go wide. A huge second period. And here's Caruth with his arm in the air at the end, saluting the fans or the team or the period, whatever it was. It was a big one for Portland.
an impressive offensive display. We've talked about it, teams talk about it. They know that you're in for a battle defensively in your own zone when the Winterhawks enter that zone. Edmonton a little lax on the defense. They paid for it dearly, gave up 3 goals, and then they're going to have, what, a minute and a half left on a power play going into the third period the Oil Kings have. And I agree with you. Some investment in Game 4 tomorrow night in this building has to happen in period 3. Never know. We've seen stranger things have happened.
So, Portland 3, Edmonton nothing. You're watching the WHL final. There's a wide shot of the Rose Garden from our end zone cameras. We welcome you back to section 112. This is our location here in Portland. Bill, there's sometimes no real reason why a team is really dominant in one period or another, but in the last 2 games, it's 6-0 goals for Portland in the second period. I have a feeling that maybe the long change is one of the reasons they're catching Edmonton on.
Well, yeah, they could be, but it's also some pretty good explosiveness when they get over that blue line. No doubt about it. You know, there's not many scoring chances. Portland with 18, Edmonton with 4. And you can see that the Oil Kings just can't generate anything. This is Portland playing really, really good defense. You don't get a lot of scoring chances when you're shooting from that spot. Well, how about the Berchi goal, the 1-0 goal? Look at Legault skate into traffic. Up come the Winterhawks with that kind of speed. They go up the ice. Nobles is going to end up in the corner of the rink. Burnett's going to blow a tire, and Berchi's going to take over. Watch that chance from in tight. He puts it upstairs. That is 1-0 for the Winterhawks. On the power play, folks, going to show you some. Ty Ratty is so explosive. Stop it there. He's on the far right of your screen. That's number 8. Watch how the Winterhawks set this up so that Ratty can explode right through this neutral ice area, right down Main Street, goes to the net, takes a perfect feed on that quickness, and has a pretty good finish. But they set that whole play up to get Ratty to explode from the blue line in. That's 2-0. And then Oliver Gabriel, I don't quite understand this. Again, speed, but how do you let him skate right between 1, 2, 3, 4 Portland Edmonton Oil Kings? He just takes that pass, finishes that play off 5-0. Beautiful, 3-0. But when you get the Winterhawks rolling like that, when you get them on that tempo, that upbeat game, they are a tough bunch to handle.
That Berchi goal, the 21st of his playoff career. Ty Ratty scoring what is his 29th of his playoff career. And for Oliver Gabriel, that is his 5th in his 25 postseason games in the WHL. The shots in that second period, 15-5 in favor of the Winterhawks. At 14-5 on the internet site, but 15-5 in the building, so one or the other. And as we start this period, it is that power play with fresh ice for Edmonton. And let's see if they could chip away at this Portland lead as the Oil Kings. Granat in over the line. Granat going wide. Granat throws it in front of shot. Score! They do just that. Samuelson scores just 20 seconds into the third period. Do we have game on again? Maybe. A power play goal for Edmonton, their first ever in the Rose Garden.
Terrific job. Good job by Laxdal. I'm sure in the dressing room talking about the fact, guys, we're down 3-1. Let's win this period. Boy, that's a lot of Portland Winterhawks back trying to play that 1-2 or 1-3 diamond defense that a lot of teams play. They allow the Oil Kings to come in deep, and once they get that puck to Samuelson's spot in that shot with a right-hand shot, good quick release, he gets them on the board.
That's his
very important.
Fourth goal of the playoff for Samuelson. And let's see what happens from here. Again, we have to remind you, Portland can be shaky when they have a lead. They do have an 8-2 record when leading after 2, but they've had a couple of notable, as you see Samuelson goes in again, a couple of notable playoff collapses in round 2 against Kamloops. Once leading 4-0 and losing a game, and once leading in the third period 5-2 and losing a game to Kamloops. Carruth handles that puck. Puts it down for Gabriel. There's Reinhart. Reinhart gets it to Christian Pelch as he tries to bring it in over the line. He does just that. St. Croix spins off a check, tries to throw it in front. Granat couldn't get a stick cleanly on it. Granat got the first assist on that goal. I didn't pick up the second assist.
fourth of these playoffs for Samuelson. 20 seconds in, and here's St. Croix winding up, and a shot just tips off the target. Pouliot hammers it around the board. Big time pressure by Edmonton in the early going here. Reed trying to alleviate that, going in on Reinhardt, who stays with them. And down goes Reed, as out comes the Oil Kings. Legault followed up now by St. Croix. St. Croix spins off one check. Pass too much behind Legault. St. Croix is a better passer than that. He had that man open, but he put the puck behind him. Here's Berchi going in now. Berchi with Nobles offside. Nobles in just a shade too soon.
Well, we've been talking about it for the first 3 games about St. Croix. Maxwell, what a time if they could just come alive again. You got the grind lines, you've got the guys, maybe what we call secondary scoring, but you know, from St. Croix standpoint, he's in a good spot there, top of the slot area. There isn't anybody within probably 10 feet of him. I think, you know, he forces Caruth just to get that pad on it. Nice shot, targeted low.
There's a shot that goes wide of the net, comes off the backboards. Here's Tessick, his shot. That's turned aside by Caruth. Lear's lead pass. That's intercepted by Keegan Lowe, almost taken off his stick by Patan. Patan was the penalized player who got the hooking penalty in the last minute of the second period that led to the power play goal. His Lowe shot is blocked by Troy Rutkowski. Lear is cut off by Rashinsky, and Lowe starts back. Lowe pass over to Wanek. His shot goes wide of the net. Racing to get it is Miraz, but from behind the net he couldn't do much with it. And the Winterhawks look like they're going to get the puck out, although Keegan Lowe doing the best to keep Patan inside. Patan now is forced back once more by Pelch. And it's Rutkowski also feeling the pressure of Pelch. Knocks it high off the wall. Tessick waits a long time for it to finally come down. And here's Christian Pelch. Squeezed by Berchi, but he maintained possession. Good play. Here's Lazar now cutting in. Curtis Lazar throws it in front, and Samuelson just couldn't get a stick on it. Reinhardt shoots! Oh, and that went over top the net. Caruth was ducking as that rising shot went over top the Portland goal. Again, the Winterhawks having trouble with this Edmonton Oil King forecheck. Reinhardt out at center, quickly over to the other side. Granat gains the line once more, puts on the break, throws it in front, and Samuelson couldn't get his stick cleanly on it. Oh, you can feel Edmonton coming on, and if they can get one, we really will have game on. Reinhardt can't keep it in, although here they come again. Samuelson, shot way up high at the flex and out of play.
Yeah, one thing we know about Curtis Lazar is we've watched him throughout the last couple series is that he doesn't take the short way out. He will go hard in the net. This is a good job of getting the puck, and watch him take it right to the net area. Into the front there. Good Samuelson in the crease area. Follow that up. Look at how far in Reinhardt pinches. Top of the face-off circle to get that secondary scoring chance off the original play by Lazar to Samuelson.
So here we are at the 4-minute mark of the period. Edmonton already has 6 shots on goal in this period. Corbett puts a 7th in onto Caruth, and he takes it off that Winterhawk logo, and he'll squeeze it.
Face-off win, obviously so important through 2 periods. Edmonton with 15 face-off wins, the Portland Winterhawks with 24. You know, obviously you win the face-off, you start with a puck, and you lose the face-off, you're chasing. You're immediately in chase mode.
Maxwell puts the puck to the corner, comes out towards the line, and put back in offside. So we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
You know, one thing about Tyler Maxwell, if you go back to when he was a 17-year-old playing his first playoff series for the Everett Silvertips, then he actually had 5 goals in the 5 games that the Silvertips played that year. So, I mean, he has had experience in scoring. He can be a factor. He just got to get going for the Edmonton Oil Kings now.
Gabriel and Deck battling for the puck behind the Edmonton goal. Gabriel finally comes up with it, still has possession, now on his backhand. He'll feed it to the blue line. Waterspoon to William Wren. Winterhawks captain dumps it back to the net. Reed protecting it against Deck. Leipzig in there against Corbett. Corbett gets the puck, handed it right away, centering pass, score! Leipzig takes advantage of another turnover, and the Winterhawks taking advantage of all kinds of Edmonton turnovers
Oilers in the last 2 games have themselves a 4-1 lead.
It looked like the Winterhawks were maybe a little bit in protect mode to start the period, especially after Edmonton scored early on the power play. However, they go back to work in the offensive zone. Reed along the back wall, the big guy that he is, he wins that battle. And watch how quickly they come up with the puck. Leipzig goes from that corner to that spot, and Reed, who was on the back wall, starting the forecheck, knew that he's got one place to put it. I would love to have the number of times Cam Reed has had his head up looking for Leipzig around the crease area.
Bill, in game 2, Saunders gave up a puck. Bad turnover, and Edmonton cashed in. Saunders not in the lineup, by the way, tonight on a Leipzig goal. On the Berchi goal, Gernat gave it up. On that goal, Corbett coughs up the puck. And Portland is making Edmonton pay for mistakes. Gernat from the line. It should be Leipzig from Reed at 4:37 as Leipzig has himself another goal in this championship series, and Pouliot looking for more. Leipzig now has 7 goals. 3 in the last 2 games. And just like that, the Winterhawks are up 4-1. We always say a team with this kind of offense can outscore their problems. But building up a 3-0 lead, they were just building up their lead. But there's an example where they were on their heels, but they're so good offensively. One mistake, and it's all uphill once again for Edmonton. All that great work they did in the first 5 minutes, negated by 1 turnover. Because you could feel them coming.
Second highest, or they know Portland Winterhawks were the highest scoring team in the Western Hockey League this year, and when you score as many goals as they do, they score them in bunches, and B, they score them off poor coverage and turnovers, and boy, have we seen that. We're only in game 3 of the playoffs in the final.
So we're 6.5 minutes into the third, and here come the Oil Kings. Foster leading the way. Foster heading to the net. There's the pass from St. Croix. Doesn't get through. That's banked off the boards and out to the center ice area. Keegan Lowe having a strong game for Edmonton. Lead pass up for St. Croix. Behind now for Legault. Legault puts that puck wide of the net. Foster's got the puck. Back to Pesic. Pesic banks it out of the air, holding it in, and he gets it back once more. Lowe. Up for Legault. And Legault makes a nice pass to St. Croix in over the line. St. Croix, hard pass. Moving in for a shot at the goal by Gernat. He scores off the far wing on a nice pass by Michael St. Croix. That's the St. Croix we're used to seeing. Great pass, great finish, and it's now 4-2.
I've counted 5 or 6 times in this game tonight that Michael St. Croix has made wonderful passes. Not one of them has led to a scoring chance as clean and as dangerous as this one. And you know Gernat's going to move in off that point. He's been doing it. That time he's probably a little further back than he normally is. He kind of slides in right off the corner of that post that you see there. But what a nice play for St. Croix to find him. And Gernat, who's just having himself a terrific WHL final here against this Portland team, has got it back within 2.
St. Croix drawing the first assist. And Legault getting the second assist. And here comes Rashinsky now in over the line. Rashinsky going hard towards the net, throws it in front, and it's swept away. Berchi's got it now. Berchi up for Ty Ratty, and away he goes. Reinhardt, though, stays with him beautifully. Not only breaks it up, but starts back for Edmonton. Reinhardt going wide. Rutkowski staying with him. Reinhardt so strong on his skates. Rutkowski comes back and gets the puck, chips it off the glass. And here's Ty Ratty now. Overskating it, and he took a hit by Reinhardt. Fans don't like that, seeing Ratty go down, and he's a little slow to get up, but he bounces off his skates, and he makes his way over to the Portland bench. I think he's fine. But there's always concern for a player that just got back in the lineup. He's checking his facial area, keeps checking his mouth guard.
And he's still standing at the bench, if that's a good sign or not. And he now decides he's going to yell at the referee. Maybe that's a better sign from a Portland standpoint. He's got enough energy to say, hey, how come that wasn't a penalty? There's about 10 or 11,000 in here that are asking the same question. Low now. Plays it up the wall. Peters intercepts and throws it at Brossois. That's turned aside. Lazar. Cross ice it goes. Here's Samuelson. He's cut off by Gabriel. So both number 28s have scored in this third period, and for both Leipzig and for Granat, it's their 7th goals of these WHL playoffs. Samuelson also has a third period goal, so it's 4-2, nearing the halfway mark of the third period. Here comes St. Croix in over the line as he cuts to the middle. His shot goes off the target. Legault trying to chase it down. St. Croix, high shot. Caruth handles that. It goes way up high in the air in this corner, and Rakowski is rocked by Foster. But Rakowski stays on his feet, does a nice job defensively to lead Gabriel out of his own zone. Gabriel passes. Oh, and the return pass from Reed, Gabriel wasn't expecting. And a little bit behind him. Lots of imagination on that play. Foster hit by Morrow. Legault comes up into the corner against Reed. Legault throws it in front, but it's intercepted. Leipzig can't get it out. Nicely cut off by Granat as it goes out here to the open wing. Rakowski, lead pass now for Reed. Quick wrist shot, harmlessly goes wide of the Edmonton goal. Shots are 28-24 in the game for Portland. There's a turnover. 10 shots, by the way, for Edmonton in the third period. Only 2 for the Winterhawks. One of them has gone in. Here comes Mraz. 3-on-2. Keegan Lowe jumps in, scores! Keegan Lowe makes it 4-3 with 9:26 to go in the third period. And some rough stuff after the celebration as Wren went in. Keegan Lowe, top shelf, scores for Edmonton. And there is an injured Oil King down below us. Is Mraz or Granat? I think it's Mraz. Yes, it is. We couldn't see him down from our corner, but what a big goal by Edmonton.
Well, you saw Granat earlier take a terrific feed from St. Croix to get Edmonton within 2, making it 4-2. And how about Keegan Lowe? We saw him way back in that first period. Dan, go to the front of the net, take a puck to the front of the net. It caused all kinds of commotion. In fact, we had some players thrown out of the game at that point. This time again, not leading the rush, trailing the rush. This is what Edmonton's doing a good job of right now. It's forcing the Winterhawks to not worry about the guy that's originally the closest guy going to the net. Your back check is tested most if you take the guy or have to check the guy who's the least dangerous to score, the guy furthest from the puck. You know, that's the guy in this case that gets it. Granat did earlier. This time it's Lowe taking that pass and simply burying it. And this Oil King team is doing a real good job. As you see Mraz on the injury here, the celebration is on. And William Wren joins that pile, and they say, no, you're not in part of our meeting here. You haven't been called.
And Lowe in a discussion, as you can see, with Pat Smith. Are there going to be extra penalties?
Boy, this might be a pretty young Edmonton Oil King team. And they've accomplished a whole lot this season. But to be trailing 3-0 and at this point be within 1 at 4-3 is showing me an awful lot of maturity.
Edmonton goals for 10:34 of the third period.
And now we're going to step aside. We're past the halfway mark of the third period. Don't go away. It's Game 3 of the Championship Series on Shaw.
Trailing 3-0 after 2 periods with a power play going into period 3. It was vitally important for the Oil Kings to get on the board. Well, how about 20 seconds in? There's a good play. Samuelson in front of the net gets Edmonton within 1, and then a turnover inside the Edmonton zone. And Leipzig, who's been a pest everywhere for the Portland team, gets it 4-1. And then how about this pass from St. Croix to a trailing defenseman, Granat? That makes it 4-2. You want more of a defenseman trailing the play. How about Keegan Lowe on that play? And that's a lot of mustard on that. He absolutely drilled that puck. Top corner is 4-3, Portland Winterhawks.
Keegan Lowe had 3 goals during the regular season. He has now 3 goals in these playoffs, and he has really made this a game. The Oil Kings have outshot Portland 12-2 in the 3rd period. And here they come again. Lazar going wide. Pouliot trying to pin him up against the wall as Pelch goes in. Christian Pelch leaves it for Samuelson. Samuelson pass to the point. Here's Pesik's shot, and that's knocked down. And the puck goes out to the neutral zone. A year ago, Kootenay built up a big lead in a game here in Portland, and it was the Winterhawks who raced all the way back and had this place in a frenzy. Peter, I think we're going down to you.
Thanks so much, guys. The big concern at the Portland bench is a couple of things. A, they didn't like how they handled the lead. And as far as the defensive coverage is concerned, Mike Johnson doesn't like how his 3rd forward has not picked up Edmonton's active defense. It's unbelievably loud down here, but credit the Oil Kings. They're showing why they were the top team in the league after a great Portland second period. This might be the best period I've seen Edmonton play in this postseason.
It all adds up, Peter, to the best game of this series so far, and it's only game 3. Gabriel leading the way for Reed, just out of his reach. Reinhardt, then a tower of strength back there for Edmonton. That's him again with the puck. Safe pass, and now a lead pass to Legault as he takes it in full flight. Foster shoots, and that's blocked away by Carruth. And the Oil Kings just keep coming. Bourgeois, of course, he must shut the door. Reed has the puck. Just 2 shots on goal so far for Portland in this 3rd. One of them has gone in. Foster. Drop pass. St. Croix couldn't get the shot away. Here come the Hawks. Berchi in over the line. Berchi with Nobles, but a great defensive play by Pesek with the stick. Ratty can't get his stick on it. Legault to Pesek. And they'll come out this way. Lead pass for Rhett Rashinsky. Rashinsky tries to get it in deep, but he couldn't. It was thwarted by the Winterhawks, but Lowe follows it up. Lowe going wide. There's a hard pass over on the far side, and Rashinsky's return pass is picked off by Berchi, and he goes all the way back. Lowe stayed with Berchi, and he took him out at the end. Puck gets out of play below us. 7:13 remaining.
Sign of a good team is always a team that can get momentum back once you've lost it. Right now the Winterhawks have lost it. It's all Edmonton with their momentum. And the last 2 goals scored by the Edmonton Oil Kings, Martin Gurnett, we talked about the trailing defenseman, Keegan Lowe, the trailing defenseman. That's what Peter was talking about. They haven't found a way, the Winterhawks at this point, to pick up that 3rd man. On the line rushes coming up the ice, Dan. You maybe watch for Edmonton to still keep activated that defenseman to join that rush.
Rutkowski, nice baseball play there. We've seen all the sports combined tonight. Lear goes in. Rugby scrum, some football rushing, track and field for sure. And they're a little baseball on that one. Here's a pass over to Samuelson, but too hard, handled in his skates. And back comes Letang. Up it goes for Peters. Chance shot wide. Pelch gets the puck for Edmonton. Christian Pelch cleverly out of his own zone. Pass for Curtis Lazar. His dump in hits Gabriel in the back. Gabriel comes up with the puck, plays it back to Rutkowski. Cross ice to Pouliot. 6:20 left. 3rd period. You know, the Edmonton Oil Kings in their history have only played 1 overtime playoff game, and it was the first ever game they played in the playoffs in Calgary a few years ago.
Yeah, there's still a long way to get that with 6:16 left, but you got to believe that they have a ton of momentum. Take a look at their record at that point. That last rush going up the ice, exactly what we were talking about. Martin Gurnett got over the blue line, the Winterhawk blue line, and defensive, banging his stick, wanted the puck.
Legault puts the puck in. Following it up is TJ Foster. Here's St. Croix off the board. St. Croix tries to feed the point to Pesek. Now to Foster, and it just widened back into the crease area. Swept away by Portland. Leipzig gets it up and Gabriel gives chase. Gabriel trying to get around Lowe. Gabriel gets the puck once more. Head up, looking for somebody, but he couldn't get the pass through Legault. That's a good defensive play by Stéphane Legault. That's him with the puck for Foster. Foster trying to get a shot. He did, and Legault on the rebound almost squeezed it in. Caruth had to be real quick to close the pads. Reinhardt's shot does not get through, and Wren lifts it just over Reinhardt's gloves for Berchi. Berchi 3-on-1. Ready, Berchi, and it's Brossoit making the save. He didn't know where it was. Pouliot shoots, and it hit Brossoit, went wide. Brady back, it goes to Morrow, and his shot is tipped off the target by Berchi. Maxwell gets the puck. Berchi on the turnover. Back of the net, Reinhardt and Berchi collide in the corner. Reinhardt wins that battle partially anyway. Berchi comes up with the puck only for a moment, and it's lifted up to the neutral zone by the Oil Kings with under 5 minutes to go in the third period. Here comes Ryshinsky. Ryshinsky going wide. Ryshinsky going hard to the net, and it rolled off his stick as the Winterhawks cleared out to the neutral zone. Back to get it is Keegan Lowe. 4-3 Portland. The series tied at a game each. Pesic now to Keegan Lowe, and out he comes. Lowe gets it up to Maxwell. He backhands it in. Matt Caruth waiting for it. He plays it high along the glass and out to the center ice area. Keegan Lowe, can he get there first? He does. Over here it comes to Maxwell. Maxwell, up it goes to Miraz. 3 Winterhawks around him, so he dumps it back down low where Caruth plays it once more. Murrow up to Lear. Pass to the open wing. Waiting for it is Reinhardt. Does he ever leave the ice, Reinhardt? Pesic back to get the puck. Pesic makes one move. Christian Pelch waiting for the outlet. Couldn't get it cleanly. Here's the turnover. And Brossoit makes the save off Reed. Oh, a big one. Don't know if it was going high, but it's a fine save by Laurent Brossoit.
Well, 2 things. Number 1, if you're the Oil Kings and you're putting on a ton of pressure, you don't want to give up a 3-on-1. They did that earlier. This is the second thing you don't want to do. You don't want to give up a turnover in your own zone. It was Berchi on the 3-on-1. It was Reed on that given turnover, and Laurent Brossoit really bails his team out.
3:53 to go in game number 3. Wow, we knew this had the makings to be a good series. So far, so good on that front, as it's Portland winning the face-off. Rutkowski putting the puck down low, but not low enough. Not from a Portland standpoint. Berchi then does get it in deep. When the CHL rankings were over at the end of the year, Edmonton was ranked 4th, Portland was ranked 7th.
They're showing why.
Yes, indeed. Samuelson rolls it in. No icing in the neighborhood, they say. Rutkowski, lead pass in skates. Lowe intercepts. Lowe to Samuelson. Samuelson makes one move. Pouliot trying to stay with him. He flips it up high, but Lowe jumps up. That was like a jump ball. New sport. Grady can't get it. Here's Rutkowski. He sends it in deep. Portland makes a change. We have now exactly 3 minutes remaining in game number 3. Foster wide, and a shot on goal is handled again by Caruth. That is 31 shots on goal now for Edmonton.
Peter, what's going on down there, man? Gentlemen, I think the biggest change for the Oil Kings in this third period is number 18. Their leading scorer, Michael St. Croix, has really showed up and made a difference. He's been a threat on every single shift in this period, and we haven't seen that.
2 assists in this period, Peter. He set up Samuelson, and he set up Gernat. And there's another setup, and the shot is blocked by Caruth as St. Croix fed it back to Gernat. There's Gernat, who's always dangerous since that Moose Jaw series.
And again, you're talking about St. Croix, the pass back to Gernat, but that's about as far out as Gernat ever shoots that puck from. Watch him. He wants to get a whole lot closer than that. That's an easy save for Caruth.
And I should say even the Brandon series was pretty dynamite there. Here comes Gabriel as it rolls towards Brossoit. Foster now. Gabriel's got it. Oh boy, we're getting late now. 2:41 to go. And that's flipped off the glass. Stays in play as Reed tries to get it. Can't. Gernat has it. Oil Kings out of their own zone. Here's St. Croix. with Legault. Can't get it in deep. And it's shot down the ice. No icing. Keegan Lowe back to get it. Lowe with his head up. As St. Croix up the left boards. Legault takes it. Legault brings it in. Foster heads to the net, but the puck goes to Portland. And here comes Nobles. Nobles tries to get it in deep. He couldn't. Gets the puck back again. Now down low towards Berchi. He couldn't come up with it as Lowe intercepts the puck. There's a turnover! And a save made off Ratty as Lowe, the latest defenseman, to turn the puck over in a dangerous area. And another one as Berchi comes up with it briefly. But here come the Oil Kings, led by Pelch. Pelch going wide, shoots, and Caruth makes the save. The rebound is juggled and then turned aside and swept out by Portland. A minute and a half to go. Goalie still in the net. No extra attacker yet. Pelch takes the shot. Bounces in front of the net. Lazar! Stopped by Caruth. My goodness, what a chance. What a chance by Edmonton. But it stays 4-3 Portland.
You're already on your feet, most of you. But if you aren't, let's get them moving.
Well, let's all catch our breath. Boy, this is pretty hectic stuff. Watch Lazar trying to jam it, You know, Samuelson wanted to jam that puck. He couldn't find it. He was boxed up beautifully.
You love to see two teams playing their best on the same night. This is it. These teams are showing you why they're here. Minute 15 to go. The goalie's still in the net. No extra attacker yet. Coach Laxton wants to see his team get clear possession down here. Instead, the puck comes down the ice. Icing indicated and icing called. 1:04 remaining.
And the shots this period are 21-7 for the Edmonton Oil Kings. Coach Laxton, what a job he has done to get his team into this game.
And there's the overhead of the last chance. Oh, what a save with the pad by Caruth. Extra attacker now. 1:04 to go. Can the Oil Kings force overtime here in game number 3? Foster on the faceoff. Big battle for it. Who's going to come up with it? Here's the Oil Kings. Gurnett in front. They're banging at the puck. Wide. St. Croix trying to hustle it down in this corner. Gabriel lifts it to the line, but not out. Now it's out at the empty net. Wide. Icing call. No icing. No icing. And a shot at the empty net goes wide from the sharp angle. Not sure. Must have hit something, obviously. Half a minute to go. Wotherspoon clears it up to Lear. Lear's shot at the empty net hits a stick. Gabriel trying to chase it down. 29 seconds to go. Gabriel keeping the Oil Kings down for a moment, but here they come. One last chance. Foster has it intercepted. Gabriel. They keep shooting for the empty net. That might be a better idea from a Portland standpoint. They get it in deep, and Berchi gives chase. We can't see the puck. It's down there somewhere. Ratty dives at it. The Winterhawks are 4 seconds away. 3, 2, 1. Game over. Game won by Portland. What a game. What a game for the Western Hockey League. That is championship final hockey at its best.
Every single person in this sold-out building on their feet. They've been on their feet the last 5 minutes, it seems. This is how close the Edmonton Oil Kings came to jamming that puck in with the equalizer with a goalie on the bench. Well, yeah, you give that young man a pat, boy. He did a great job that period. Wow, what an effort. This crowd loving it. Thank you to both teams, boy. Thank you, Winterhawks. Thank you, Oil Kings. That was a beauty.
What a show. What a show for the Western Hockey League. As I say, when you get two teams playing their very best on the same night, and I think that's as good as either team can display on the same night, Matt Carruth facing in the third period 23 shots. Edmonton scored on 3 of them, couldn't get the equalizer, and Portland takes a 2-1 lead in the series with an off day tomorrow, and man, we got a lot of post-game coming up. Look at the show these teams put on tonight. Offensively, defensively, physically, it was all there. And we've got lots more coming up. Stay with us. From Portland, Oregon, it's the WHL on Shaw.